All right, welcome back everybody to Altcoin Daily, where you subscribe for our daily videos keeping you informed on everything going on with Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, the whole market. For well over a year now, you have been hearing analysis like this.
What you're looking at now is you're looking at the Bitcoin hyperwave. You all know that I believe it's going down to 1,000. On my hyperwave channel, all this year, we kept telling people, you've got to be out of this. You've got to be out of all cryptos because they are in the terminal phases of a hyperwave, which will take us all the way back down to the beginning. I'm still convinced that we're headed down below 1,000 before we can begin recovering again, which I'm almost certain we are going to do.
That, of course, is Tyler Jenks, aka Mr. Hyperwave, aka Mr. $1,000 Bitcoin, aka the most infamous Bitcoin bear among us. Now, honestly, I like Tyler Jenks. I do. I like this guy. I think he's a good guy, and he believes in the long-term future that Bitcoin can attain. But for well over a year now, he has been telling you to stay away. Get out of it. I'm advising my clients to stay away from Bitcoin. This hyperwave is not complete. Bitcoin will go to 1,000, possibly lower. That was the rhetoric. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Mr. Hyperwave himself has just turned into a bull. Let's watch Tyler Jenks today on the Tonevase YouTube channel. I think this is a great YouTube channel. I've been subscribed to him for a while, as you know. And you know, Tyler Jenks is a trader. Don't forget that. Traders adapt, and he has adapted. Let's take a look at his complete 180.
Could you pull up the monthly just very quickly, because it's also very bullish, and it's early in its count, which is pretty scary when you think about it.
There it is.
Exactly. So it's just getting started. It's saying it can keep doing this until the end of the year. But basically, I think this region between 10,000 and 11,000 is pretty important. If we, on a short-term basis, run into problems around 11.4, just meaning hit the Fibonacci number, which, as Tone said, could happen before I finish this sentence, then I am expecting the 10,000 to 11,000 band to provide resistance. And I believe we drop back into it, and I think we struggle at that point. So I would not be chasing this slightly above the 11,000 line. I have said repeatedly in the last month that after we bought down at the $6,500 level and sold half of it at $8,800, that I'm looking for a place to get out of the other half. That is not true anymore. I am convinced by Consensio and by the Copic curve on a long-term basis turning up and the ADX on a long-term basis turning up, that this is for real. And by for real, what I mean is at this point, the amount of momentum behind this move deserves, and it will be very bullish if we get a pullback. I doubt if we can get back down to the 6,000 to 7,000 range, but we could easily get back down to the 7,500 to 8,500 range. And if we were to do that and hold that level and take a little bit of time, the way Tone has been looking for, then we are set up for a massive bull market for the rest of this year. And therefore, I'm not going to be getting out of the Bitcoin we have on a pullback. I'm going to be adding to it under what we're seeing right now.
The link to this whole video is in the description. Check it out. I really enjoyed it. And listen, I get it. It's easy to hate on this guy, probably. I mean, for me, personally, I welcome anybody who wants to come over to our side. I mean, this is a net positive for us. And I see it as a strength, you know, in somebody who can. I see it as a strength when somebody can adapt and change their point of view. And by the way, guys, this whole video was very enjoyable to watch. I mean, to watch these former Bitcoin bears speculate on why exactly this is all happening with the price. Here, check out, this is Jimmy Song giving his 2 Satoshis on this very subject. Check this out. Good stuff.
I don't know, Jimmy, I don't know if you want to mention anything, but I have a really important question that Tyler and I are going to probably struggle with.
Well, I mean, you were saying you were concerned about all of these nines and all of the bull market. I mean, I think that kind of points at the fact that this is a new asset class, right? Like it's very different than anything that we've seen. And you know, like having massive bull runs like this, as it sort of becomes more widely adopted, is to be expected. There are a lot of rumors right now that because custody solutions have come so far in the last couple of years, that you know a lot of this accumulation might be by institutions, and ain't no FOMO like institutional FOMO. And if that's happening, oh my goodness, this is we really could go way past the new all-time high and go really crazy. But yeah, I mean, this is what technical adoption kind of looks like. It's multiple S curves. This is the sweet part of the S curve, obviously. And you see more and more people adopting. That's what it looks like to me. And price tends to be a pretty decent indicator of adoption.
That was really the main focus of today's video, my friends. Now I want to pivot. I want to take a look at the price of Bitcoin. I want to take a look at what crypto Twitter is saying. And wow, Bitcoin in the last 3 hours is still making moves. In the last 1, 2, 3, we have rallied from $10,700 to over $11,000. Once again, we are just above $11,000 right now. Once again, consolidating near the top, near the yearly high, like we have seen time and time again. If we switch to the day chart, you can see it looks a little bit overbought, right? It looks like it needs a correction, but that's what it looked like right here, right here, right here, right here. You know, anything could happen. Hopefully, you know, we have another time correction rather than a price correction, or as Tyler Jenks said on the video, if we have a correction to around the $7,000, $8,000 region, that might be very bullish and might be a great year. He also mentioned the month chart, saying the month chart looks extremely bullish. Very interesting. Switch over to Twitter. So this is just a hangout for the next few minutes. You can always follow us at altcoindailyio. Some things that we tweet. Can you still afford to buy one whole Bitcoin? Can you still afford not to? Cheers to all the Bitcoin hodlers. We have only just begun. And then, of course, this is me and the Altcoin Daily crew rolling into the next bull run, especially with a portfolio of mostly Bitcoin. And again, I know a lot of people have been saying, it was about 6 months ago, I don't know, it was within the last year, we started transitioning, talking more about Bitcoin based on, you know, research that I was doing. And back then, a lot of people used to get a little bit peeved that we don't talk about altcoins as much, but considering how the markets have been performing over the last 6 months, I bet a lot of you are happy that I choose to focus on the coin that I think is the most undervalued. Of course, we will always cover altcoin news on this channel. I'm very interested to know. I want to know what's going on with Digibyte, Litecoin, Cardano. I want to know about altcoins that, you know, what they're doing in this space, but my money's on Bitcoin for the moment. And then this is great news as well, you know. Bitcoin continues to seep into our culture. Disney's Donald Duck. Bitcoin is apparently mentioned in a certain version of this comic or this book. I don't know if this is German or what it is, but you know Scrooge McDuck. He's always dealing with money issues, people trying to steal his money. Maybe you should keep it in Bitcoin. Let's switch to all of crypto Twitter. See what's going on crypto Twitter. Bitcoin just broke $11,000. Anthony Pompliano, he does not sleep when it comes to Twitter. Shout out to everybody who's been here since Bitcoin's all-time high. You were the true bear market survivors, and your patience will soon be rewarded. Okay. Yes, shorts have been liquidated with this recent rally in price, right? Still above $11,000. Do you guys follow Peter McCormick? He does the What Bitcoin Did podcast. I think it's a really great podcast if you're into Bitcoin. Then of course I watched this too, the Bob Lazar Joe Rogan Experience podcast, where he's talking about Area 51 and aliens. Really, really interesting stuff. And what else? Yes, I recommend, if you've never read the Bitcoin Standard, and we talk about some of the concepts they talk about on this channel, but the Bitcoin Standard, it's a great book. It talks about how in all of history, the hardest money has always won. That's Bitcoin right now. It used to be gold, it used to be many other things, but the hardest money has always won out. Who's excited for Bitcoin 2019? We're less than 2 days away. It must be a conference. And yeah, I think that's it for crypto Twitter. Show me a bubble that lasted 9 years and recovered multiple times after popping. I'll wait. Only in Bitcoin can yearly losses be recovered within 3 months. Agreed. And yeah, I saw earlier that Doug Polk tweeted out that he had a new video. So, I mean, that's one of the most bullish indicators when Doug Polk starts making videos again. And yes, price of Bitcoin still over $11,000. I think I'm going to end it here. I enjoyed this hangout, and overall, I hope you found value in this video. I wanted to bring this to you. You know, weekends are sometimes a little bit slower with the news, but there's always something to talk about, right? All right, I'll see you tomorrow, guys. It's going to be a great year.